Do you like these, by the way?
I do like them. They remind me of a 60s. Never mind. Anyway, Dave, you made it through another blue-white game. Congratulations. I can't even remember the score right now because of that weird...
17-13.
Is it 17-13?
Defense over offense, or white over blue, but I don't even know.
It was a nice day.
Modified Stableford scoring system.
We got to see some young players. We also got to see some older players. James seemed to be in a good mood afterward. I'm not sure what to make of this team, considering how much talent they lost. A team that lost 6 games last year.
He was a bit caustic about the offensive line, wasn't he?
Yeah.
What did he say? So we can say some things about the offensive line and stand behind our words or something like that.
Yeah,
I can't remember what he said.
I don't know. It was fun to see some of the young quarterbacks throw. I wouldn't read too much into the lows or the highs, but it's pretty clear in case he wasn't crystal clear from the data he talked about. He worked Sean Clifford pretty hard this spring. He thought he had his best spring. So
over 200 reps.
200
over 200 passes.
Attempts.
Yeah.
There really is no quarterback. To me, it's pretty clear cut who 1 and 2 are.
Yeah.
And they're gonna let the 2 January enrollees, Prabula and Drew Aller, continue to try and get better.
And Veyu looked pretty good. I thought Veyu looked pretty good today.
He did. I don't know what that means for the offense moving forward, considering their O-line depth, considering they couldn't run the ball last year.
Well,
is it going to be more of the same? We're going to have to wait and see.
Either one of them are going to have to be survivors. Survivors. Although he seems to like the new left tackle, 74.
Olu Fashanu, yep. Yeah. I think he's a guy that has a chance to be a good player. Their center, Juice Scruggs, obviously. Caden Wallace, I think, needs to take a step forward. I think the big question mark is their offensive guards, number 1. And also, they literally had no depth this spring. And he's confident they're going to find some depth in August when a couple other players arrive. That remains to be seen. You need 8 or 10 guys, and then eventually you're going to have to run the ball when it's 3rd and 1. One guy I like was Katron Allen, the big thumper they have. Everyone talks about Nick Singleton. He's a good player, but Katron Allen is built, I think, to pick up 2 yards on 3rd and 1.
Speaking of pickup, he has a little pickup when he gets out in the open field. That was pretty impressive.
He's a big guy that I think can help them this year. James also said, I thought it was a little surprising he said it, but they did lose a lot of players, Dave. He feels like this true freshman class, there's going to be a number of players that can help them in the fall.
More, he said, than maybe any other class they've ever had as far as freshmen.
But 1, yeah. So, and those 14 and 15 years, they had to rely on freshmen. They had no choice. But I don't know. I don't know how I feel. I don't necessarily have a strong feeling about this team coming out of spring, but they have so much to fix. They have so many areas where they can get better. And as good as that defense was last year, Dave, they lost so many good players.
Yeah.
I just don't know with that schedule what that means in the fall. I would say they still have a lot of work
When he was
to do.
asked to appraise the entirety of the he wasn't asked to appraise the entirety of the roster, but he ended up doing it.
Yeah.
As far as guys that he's seen flash, as he likes to say, or look like they might be able to play, he started with the defense, and I thought that was a tell, because he would rather talk about the defense, even though they lost. What was it, 54% of tackle production?
Boy, it was. They lost 4 or 5 just guys that are going to play in the NFL.
So he likes the DBs. He likes the safety room. He likes the tight end room on offense.
He said that last year before the season.
Yeah, I know.
So what I think has been very obvious to me, I don't know how to read it. He talks about losing his great friend Brent Pry, the defensive coordinator, but he seems to have a lot of confidence in Manny Diaz being able to work a little bit magic maybe with some unproven talent. I don't know really what that means. Manny Diaz had some great defenses at Miami, and I think he's going to maybe do some things differently than Brent Pry did.
He made it sound as if Manny was the one who decided to switch Sutherland to field linebacker. Like it was his idea.
Well, he's got to play. So I just think they're pretty athletic at safety, and I don't know that Sutherland would have played at safety. They had some needs at linebacker, so I think that
they certainly do.
Yeah, but I really, this is one of the more interesting off seasons I think Penn State's had, just because of how they ended up last year, just because of all the talent they lost. And when you say you're counting on a lot of true freshmen, I don't know if that's good or bad.
No, it can't be good. But a lot of guys are going to play, so it might be good for the next season. As far as this event,
yes,
I asked an interesting,
sure
what I thought
did.
was an interesting question.
I'm still
and I horned it in at the end. Horned it in at the end.
You did.
Because I
barged your way in.
Well, I was actually surprised at the liveliness of the contact in this game.
Yeah.
And sometimes it has not been that. Partly because coaches don't like to get guys hurt.
Yeah.
And let's face it, why would you? You remember the one time in 2013, Bill O'Brien
Zach Zwinnak.
got Zach Zwinnak hurt in the spring game, and he was seething until like 3 weeks
Well, he was
later.
always seething. He was just more angry than normal.
Until 3 weeks later in Reading, he practically sounded like he wanted to end the game, you know?
Yeah.
But of course, they had sanctions in the 65-man roster.
Yeah.
But my question was, are you married to the prospect of this always being a game or a fictional game or a scrimmage or 7-on-7 or whatever you want to have it? Or could it be a skills competition with players, not only just
Fans.
players, but interacting with fans, you know,
Board of trustees, maybe. Who knows? We'll see.
quarterbacks throwing to 12-year-olds.
I still want to talk about your Board of Trustees idea, but I will not. I will not, sir.
Yeah. And he said pretty much absolutely not.
Yeah.
How did you take that answer? That was pretty much it. He's always wants it to be
I
a game.
thought that he backed it up. It wasn't just a hard no, and that's just the way it is. But he said, I want to see how guys react in front of 50 or 60,000 people. I want to see who can make plays. Some guys are really good on the practice field. It doesn't translate, and vice versa. And he said he does think that there is still, in this day and age, even with injury concerns,
a value for
physicality
contact,
is important. It's important to establish that kind
And
of
I thought we actually saw that today.
Yeah.
I thought the contact was pretty lively for a blue-white game or an offense-defense game or whatever the hell we're calling this. Most of the game.
I'm looking forward to reading this column.
it
Let me
said
just say that because I think you're gonna put some interesting spins.
It's just
on this.
concept. It's high concept. They're high concepts. They need some working through. Work them through. And maybe James Franklin someday will see it the way I
Finally
see it.
listen to you.
But anyway, this is the blue-white game. We will next see you in, oh my goodness, West Lafayette, one of your favorite places.
Don't
one of my favorite
Don't forget
places.
about August Media Day.
Oh, that's
Dave.
right. That's right.
You and Mike Yersis can have a nice little Q&A.
But as far as a real competition, as this was, it will be West Lafayette for
On
the
a
first
Thursday.
game. On a Thursday night.
Thursday nights.
What
I love them.
what a weird thing. Until then, a beautiful day in Center County. Adios.